Nerfcast. This is Sean.
And this is Josh.
Hi, I'm back.
I think we can just stop acting like you're not going to be here. Yeah. Although you weren't here last time, so I guess that's legitimate.
My head was here for a minute.
Yes.
That wasn't done in post. That was not done in post. That was straight live.
Pro Photoshop skills, Josh.
You know I try.
How was your guys' trip over the pond?
It was so good. It was good to meet someone who is so closely similar to my last start.
Crikey!
Yes.
Blimey!
Kimball sounds like him and I look like him, so together we would be...
There you go.
We would be second to last dart.
Yes.
Yes. I like it.
We'd be the tracer dart.
Yes.
Tracer
darts, for those of you who don't know, are the darts that are a different color when you're almost running out of a magazine full of darts, so you know you're almost out.
Thank you, Dr. Foam Wizard.
Yes, thank you for listening to Nerfcast. This is Sean. We got more news than that today, but not much more.
Don't believe him.
I want to give you guys props for struggling through a slow, I won't call it a completely off-cycle news season, but I will say a slow news season unless you live in Rhode Island and live next to Nerf and have a lab that blasts things.
Yes.
You know. I mean, we're talking about news, not mods that people do, so we could start trying to do mods.
No.
I mean, one of us does mods. There's one like...
It's not a mod. I didn't do that. Someone else did that.
You painted it.
Oh, you're pointing to... What are you pointing to?
Where'd it go? Oh, you sneaky. It's not in here. Oh, wait, no, there it is. I spotted it.
Yes.
Congratulations.
It's the same Straven from the last episode. The only difference is now it's painted white.
When strafed in America foams a mighty dart.
This is what I have to work with, guys. Next week, Nerfcast with Josh.
Yes. And it's going to be on your computer without any of the recording equipment.
That's okay.
Well, if it's this on his computer, he doesn't need all the stuff.
Also true.
He can do it on his 480p webcam.
Oh
no, he has the same webcam.
Yeah, same webcam.
Why did you buy that?
For something else.
Are you replacing me?
Sean, it's called planned obsolescence.
Are you creating Bay Nerfcast?
No, because then I might have to invite people I don't want on the podcast.
Yes.
More.
For the love of God, what do we have to talk about today?
Why are you looking at B.F.U?
Arnold Palmer iced tea.
It's delicious.
That stuff is good, actually. I do like it.
So,
sorry.
There's not much going on, as many of you guys know. In terms of news, I'm sure there's a lot of reviews of blasters that have already been out.
Yes.
Yes.
Coming out, and mods coming out that are cool, but they're going to talk about them better than we can.
Yes.
'Cause they're their mods.
Yes. And kids, let this be a lesson to you. If someone is better than you are at being good at something, then just let them do it and quit.
Who's doing mods?
Trying is the first step towards failure.
Oh. I'm just saying, I'm sure there are mods out there. I haven't been on Nerf Haven for a minute.
I'm
sure there's mods out there. There's mad people on Reddit that are like, hey, look it. No, wait, hold on. I got this. There's a Vulcan minigun that's on Reddit right now. See, we could talk about it, but somebody else already has it.
Who's
Reddit right now.
That's Landgraves, right?
It could be.
Or Johnson Arms, one of the
two.
Oh, we didn't talk about that last time, actually.
What didn't we talk about?
Landgrave Customs is doing like a whole little YouTube series that's all steampunky.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. We talked about it. There we go.
That's amazing. I keep wanting to call him Lando Calrissian Customs.
Lando.
Every time I see that like Landgraves, I'm like Lando steampunky.
Every time. I was like, Lando makes customs. I was like, when are they going to attach Colt 45 model to a blaster?
Oh,
that is the question. That actually, this has me thinking. So this anime convention is coming up in a couple weeks here in the Bay Area. I'm going to tie this back, trust me. It's called Fanime.
Japanimation.
Yes, Japanimation.
Got it.
Weeaboo. Josh and I a year ago actually tried to sign up for a panel there to host a conversation about Nerf blasters and how to run Nerf wars.
Yeah, we were going to do Nerfcast live.
Yeah, and then it turned out that has nothing to do with anime. So we kind of got not even shot down. They just didn't respond to us.
Wait. But Cthulhu for president.
Every year.
That has to do with it. Every year that has to do with anime.
And 6 panels on Hitalia.
And the history of Magikarp.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, Magikarp is very important. Anywho, wrapping that back around, one of the conversations we we completely forgot to actually ask if we could do a panel again because we've just been
Yeah,
so
I
busy
didn't-
doing actual Nerf stuff.
Yep.
Oh, we should have hit up Big Wow.
We could have. They don't really. I mean, their panels there.
Yeah, that's kind of the point. They might be like, oh,
That's what I'm saying. I don't
we're
think they do a
desperate
lot
for
of
panels.
panels.
They do a few, don't they?
No, it's more of an artist convention that blew up into more stuff.
They maybe looking to expand.
Yeah, sure.
They do gaming, kind of. No, they
No,
stopped.
I didn't say that they didn't. I'm just like, yeah, they do gaming.
Everyone does gaming.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Josh,
Well, the last year they had the foam bows and arrows. Those were a thing.
Oh yeah, because season 1 of Arrow.
Yeah, they
Was
had
there.
like
That's
target
his theme song now.
practice and
Arrow.
They had target practice and all kinds of
Yeah.
stuff.
Black Canary will save you, Arrow.
That's so foul.
It's how that show goes.
You're so foul. You're a terrible human being.
Wait. When Captain America shoots his mighty foam dart, was that what?
No.
But Arrow is messed up.
Strafed in America. That's Captain America's third cousin,
Twice removed.
Stradios de America.
The Winter Busby.
How about the winter desolation of foam?
Anyway, you actually had a point at some point, Sean.
The desolation of Tech Recon.
Ooh.
I am
You're such
fire. I am death.
I am patent pending.
Yes. Anywho, back to this original point. One of the conversation pieces, if we did reapply to do a panel, would have been to talk more about like modding and customization for costumes and cosplay in general.
Yes.
So going back to the whole Landgraves thing and doing steampunk theming,
Yep.
there are a lot of blasters that on again, off again, we've mentioned would be good for modding into either steampunk or cosplay items.
I don't know what he's looking at, so.
I'm
Me neither.
looking up here where I see
slim pickings
some
up
of
there.
it, not all of it.
It's pretty slim pickings up there, dude.
There's not a whole lot on this side.
Yeah.
Wait, over here's some good stuff right here. Wait, no, there's something. What's this right here? That looks pretty good. That looks like something Poison Ivy would use. What blaster is that?
God, I hope that someone drops
That's
an
the Man
anvil
Thing
on your
blaster?
nuts.
Man Thing, who was recently mentioned in the latest episode of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, make a Bioshock.
Yes.
Actually, you are not going to find a Maverick on here. That's like the number one blaster we talk about when we
You're
talk
damn
about.
sure not gonna find no damn Maverick on my wall. That
Yep.
is for damn
That's
sure.
like the one blaster you've never owned.
There's a Retaliator up there, and I don't even know how it got up there.
Is that a strong arm over there?
No, yeah, it is.
Yep, right
It
there.
is.
Where do you have a Retaliator?
There's a Retaliator hanging around here somewhere, I think.
It's funny because your Lord of the Rings quiver has
Oh, right there.
blasters and stuff.
Retaliator.
Mine has lightsabers in it.
Retaliator. Yeah, okay. It's
Yeah.
not very steampunk.
Yeah,
Retaliator.
just it would trust us. It's there.
You know what a Retaliator looks like. What the?
With a really long barrel.
That's not even...
I was positive a bunch of things were about to fall
Yeah, I
on me.
was too.
Like,
I was
this is how I
I'm
die.
so glad Sean has the middle seat.
Yep. I'm in the danger zone.
Okay. You are not one of the Price
what
is
you
Right
do is
girls.
you hold this
You can
up.
stop.
And then you blow it, and it's a blowgun.
Presented by Arnie P. All right, so let's be serious for a minute, dude. Seriously, if you get spit in there and it catches one of my Kush darts, I'll be real pissed. Those things are super sensitive.
No, trust me, I'll lubricate it. I'll make it fly better.
That's what he tells all the ladies.
20% better.
Oh.
Give my Centurion barrel.
Yes.
Best thing that came out of that thing.
So the question I
Besides
want to
the cost.
pose to you guys, we'll start
Yes.
with you, Josh.
Uh-oh.
If you had to make a custom paint job / mod for a blaster for a costume, what costume / blaster would you make? Use and mod.
For me?
Yeah, like if you wanted to cosplay as someone, who would you want to cosplay as and use a blaster to create that cosplay?
I don't even
for?
know, but the first thing that came out of my head right now was attaching that stupid barrel onto like a stripe and just having the Joker gun from the original Batman movie.
Yes.
Very nice.
Yes, there we go.
And you dress
Yeah.
as the Joker.
Yeah, except for I would have like a huge purple like pimp hat, like just a giant brim,
Yes.
even though he didn't really wear one in the movie.
He did for like one scene in the movie,
He
right?
had a hat, but I mean I want it ridiculously like out to here.
You want Darkwing Duck.
Ooh, yes, there we go.
You want a Tanto?
Isn't
A
it?
tauntaun? That's a thing from Star Wars.
No, I'm talking about the zoot suit hats.
The zoot suit
Isn't
hat.
it
Long
Santo the
brim.
small knife you commit harikari with?
No.
Yes,
Tonto,
Tonto,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Anywho,
Wakazashi.
Seppuku?
Seppuku.
zoot suit hat, the kind Darkwing Duck
Yeah,
wears.
big
Yeah.
ass hat.
Yeah, but that in purple.
Yes.
And he wore that in the animated series like half the time in the first season for
yes.
Batman.
And that's why. That's awesome.
And there you go.
Boom. Right off the top of my head, just spitballing. You like that?
All right, B.F.U, if you had to dress up in costume, what blaster would you mod for that costume and why?
Fuck, tough question. I would only dress up in costume if we could reenact some of the parts from my favorite comedy movie. So it wouldn't matter.
So I know how he's gonna
Tropic
answer,
Thunder?
but I know what everybody
Yeah.
else wants.
Yeah, I want to do Foamic Thunder or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Damien, we got our foam faces on!
Nah, we're gonna have him dressed as Dante, and we're gonna make him a Nerf Ebony and Ivory.
Yes.
Dante
Devil
from
May
Devil
Cry.
May Cry. It's like the only two things you know from anime.
Devil May Cry.
It's like he's like Trigun and Devil May Cry. Those are the same thing, right?
They
wear
don't
red
they both
trench
wear
coats.
Red trench coats?
Yes.
Yeah, so it's like completely unoriginal.
Also Van Helsing.
Van Helsing wears a red trench coat?
Oh no, they just call it Helsing. Sorry.
Yes.
Wait,
it is
Helsing
just
wears a
Helsing.
red trench coat?
Yeah, he
Well,
looks
no,
like
it's
Carmen
not-
Sandiego.
Helsing is not. It's the name of the anime.
Yeah, Helsing. I've seen it.
Oh
Actually,
no, sorry. The character's name is Alucard.
Yes.
Because he's a
But he
Dracula.
wears
Not,
red?
but not Alucard from Castlevania. I don't want you to get.
Who dresses
you're
in
easily
white.
confused
Either
with
way,
this.
they spelled Dracula backwards, and it's the same character. Yeah.
Ooh.
Serious. Again, the unoriginality in there is rough. I'm not saying other things are original. I'm just saying Devil May Cry looks like that dude.
Devil May Cry.
Yes.
Trigun Devil, except one wears glasses and one doesn't. Trigun wears glasses.
Actually,
right?
Alucard wears glasses too.
But Trigun wears
Actually,
glasses, right?
It's
and
basically-
Alucard's
yeah.
glasses look just like Batch's. They're
round
round.
ones. So basically, Alucard has black hair that's long and wears a long red hat.
Step your game up, Japanimation.
Oh, I mean, you're talking about generics. We could go into a whole bunch of different stuff.
No.
Yup.
No, please.
We could talk about
I don't
original
want to talk
content.
about purple spiky hair.
What? No.
Dude, I would actually. So here's what I would love.
Yes.
And I feel like I actually want to like reach out to Nerfenstein or someone like that to get
Yep.
this done.
Yup.
There's an anime called Outlaw Star
Yes.
where the main character uses a caster gun, which
Yep.
is basically uses special shells, fires special magical shots.
You are
and
so dating yourself right now. Like you have to.
So,
all the people that go to
It's responsible
half of the
for
conventions are like,
it's responsible
Outlaw
for JFK.
Star. What?
What's that?
It's responsible for JFK.
Yes.
Because it fires magical bullets.
Yes.
More or less. Through time.
Yeah.
Dark side.
Dark side. Anti-life.
We could do if we get the knockoff
Crossbow.
darts. We could reenact the scenes from Reloaded because those darts curve pretty damn well.
They do.
Uh,
Do you mean Wanted?
yeah, I was
Wanted?
like, reloaded?
Shoot the wings off the fly, Wesley.
Yeah, the one where they curve the darts.
Yeah, that's Wanted.
It was stupid.
Angelina Jolie, Morgan Freeman.
Yeah. That one.
And Professor X.
Yes.
Young Professor X.
Yes.
Okay.
Remember that scene in X-Men First Class where Professor X is racing against Beast? I really enjoy that because I'm like, that's the last time you're ever going to do that.
You're a terrible human being.
Come on, Beast. Stop going so fast.
Wow.
This is me in a
The
wheelchair.
views of Sean Anderstein are not representative of Nerfcast or our feelings towards the paraplegic handicapped community.
Yes, but the video is perfect for GIF making.
Mom's like, you choose GIF.
Yes.
What it was GIF?
So,
I actually call it GIF, but for Josh's sake, I call it GIF.
Wait, why? He just does that because I also call it GIF. And like 20 years after the format was there, somebody actually interviewed the creator and he was like, no, it's GIF. And I'm like, that's not how you spell GIF.
Phonetically, it's GIF.
Yeah, I'm like, no, GIF is spelled with a J, I, and an F. There's a peanut butter, and they would like to sue you, like the WWF sued the WWF.
Or it's like George Lucas going back on his movies, like, oh, I wanted more rocks around R2-D2 in this scene, so I'm going to put them there now. I'm like, it's too late. You can't come in and meddle after the fact.
You can.
I mean, legally he
and
can.
The fans will buy. So, do we have topics?
Well, we were on one, then we got off of it.
Yeah, we're talking about.
But are we going to talk about Star
Star
Wars blasters? Because you could totally do that for a costume.
with Aisha Clan, the cat girl, and Suzuka, the female assassin, Twilight Suzuka. She only kills people in the last 5 minutes of the day.
Best use of Nerf blasters.
Oh, man.
That's what everyone does.
Everybody
I'm
does
not
that.
saying it's bad because clearly, if you've played Borderlands,
Yeah.
everything looks like a
I'm
Nerf
not-
blaster in there.
I'm agreeing with Sean. I'm not saying no. I'm just saying it's been. So steampunk And Borderlands 2 are like super overdone for Nerf blasters.
Yes.
Uh,
Which
no,
makes
I feel
sense.
Like Steampunk is more overdone because it always uses the Maverick.
Oh no.
Not always. I'm being.
Sometimes it uses
the Maverick.
the jolt.
70% of all
Derringer
70% of all
jolts.
Steampunk mods are Mavericks.
Yes, and now 90% of Borderlands mods are going to be crappy Centurions.
Yes.
The Raven was hot for a minute though.
It was.
It was.
Yeah.
I like the Borderlands. Maybe it's because I like Borderlands.
No,
I like them
Borderlands
too. It's just
I
like
think it takes more skill to make a Borderlands.
I think it depends on what you're doing.
it depends.
I mean, because steampunk stuff, you can just kind of do whatever and be like, it's steampunk, there are cogs on it.
All the
But you can make them look
steampunk is-
really cool.
You can. It just all look bronze to me. It's like all bronzy, which makes sense because that's the theme.
yeah, the paint
Borderlands
jobs
has such
yeah.
a variety of paint color schemes, and it seems like it'd be harder.
Like
to
you'll get red and yellow, and also like a checkered pattern in the back. Like it's very like they look almost like cobbled together, but somehow still flow naturally.
Maybe we could have Johnson Arms or Landgraves on one day and ask them which harder, steampunk or Borderlands.
Well, I mean,
I feel like
here's
the
thing.
people who always present steampunk are gonna say that it
They
is.
do both.
Well,
they do?
here's what I would say
Uh-huh.
is that Borderlands are definitely going to be more difficult from the fact that you are making a replica of something, whereas steampunk, for the most part, you can make whatever you want and it's steampunk,
Mhm.
right? So you don't have any mold to follow. Whereas if you get things wrong in a Borderlands blaster, people might be like, well, it's not like that in the game.
Yeah.
In steampunk, you're like, well, it's my own steampunk gun. It's what I want it to look like.
To be
My
fair,
original character.
a voltage modded Strife painted like a Jacobs would be pretty easy to do. Jacobs aren't too complicated.
Yeah, they're like the basic ones.
Yeah, that's my favorite one. It's a high rate of fire, so you go bow, 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 bow.
Yeah.
Fast reload, bow, 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 bow.
Yeah. I love Borderlands too.
Yes.
We all do. Everyone does.
The last DLC came out this week.
The last game that I had played in my 360 until last night.
What did you
Open it
play
up.
last night?
Deadpool.
They made a game?
Oh yeah, Arjong has
Yeah,
that.
Arjun gave me his copy to play.
Oh.
It's-
And it's actually really good.
Is it?
It is
Yeah.
pretty good. It plays a lot like Devil May Cry. The character also wears red,
And sometimes a trench coat.
and also
Because-
uses guns and swords,
You know.
just like one of my Japanese animes. Borderlands 2 is actually coming out with another game by Telltale. So Telltale are the makers of the Walking Dead video game, the good one, not the bad one. The Wolf Among Us, the
Yep.
Sam and Max series.
Yep.
So now I can't remember his name. He's the brother from Hey Ash, What You Playin'? Anthony Birch.
I like that you look at me like I have any idea what Hey Ash, what you playing?
He's the lead writer of Borderlands 2, and he's also helping to write out on this. So it looks really good. The art style is very much the same. It's just not a shoot 'em up game. It's more story intensive. So look forward to that. Some
Look forward
screenshots came out
to
I think,
making
today.
mods
Oh,
of those
Hasbro,
blasters.
Hasbro, release your goddamn summer blasters.
Except for they're like fall blasters.
I know.
We all know they're summer blasters. They're coming out in the summer.
Someone tell Hasbro that.
Please,
because
Hasbro.
they still ain't out.
No, we push Super so we
Just
got
release the damn. You know what?
I
maybe
wish that they
we
would
gotta
just-
push Goldberg for
If
SummerSlam.
we expanded into Super Soaker stuff, we would be cool for like.
No, because
year
all
round.
the Super Soaker stuff already came out.
And it's all bad.
Oh, I
It's
know.
all
Took, like,
horrible.
for next year. I mean.
Look, I made a crossbow that shoots
so this
water.
year, this year we were like, hey, look at Super Soakers are out. It was like one post on the blog, and then people were like, you know they're terrible. And we're like, yeah, we know, but there's nothing else to talk about, guys.
I found an orange knife finder.
You did find an
Uh,
orange knife finder. I also
And
found
then
an
take a
orange
picture
knife
of it
finder.
like a week before it came out on
You mean
Reddit.
the Orange Fire Strike?
Yeah, that too.
Okay, I was really confused for a second.
No, it's a knife finder.
It's a knife finder.
It's a knife finder. It's got the little.
The one I
glossy
sent
thing
you a
at the
picture of
bottom.
is a
It's
knife
not Fire
finder.
Strike. Walgreens has the. It's. We were.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking about now. Yikes.
Then you hit Reddit. I'm like, oh, this is a thing. Maybe I should
Yeah.
take a picture. Josh's like, yeah, idiot.
Yeah,
Next time, take a picture, stupid. Like, oh, my bad.
that happened.
And then Josh just starts hitting you and hitting you.
I do.
Josh gets so mad when I just do dumb shit like that. He's like, you saw? What do you mean you saw this a week ago? I'm like,
No.
it's at Walgreens.
I took a picture and sent it to you. I did a good job.
I know. I know.
I thought I found something. I just never go to Walgreens. I went to go get sunscreen that I didn't use at our first
I wish I
game.
had that problem.
Now it's burned.
Yeah.
We had a game.
Yeah. Bay Area Urban Recreational Nerf. Season 3.
Was that the time in the rain?
No. That was the test game.
Oh, got it.
Round 1. The Nerf is right.
What's round two?
Ba-ba-ba-ba.
Oh, we're doing
pressure
whammy,
Nerf.
whammy, 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 stop, right?
No whammy, no whammy. Stop.
That thing, yeah.
Whammies are bad. You don't want them.
So he didn't get the name of the show, but he didn't even get the phrase from the show right.
To
It's
be
like,
fair,
would I like to buy a consonant? I mean, yes, no.
$1, Bob.
The B.F.U stands for Bizarro. I'm smart.
Bizarro want pants too.
I'm so upset about all topics because there's too many.
I feel like you're bordering very close to like a racist Asian accent.
What?
Huh?
You don't hear it?
No.
No, but maybe that's because I did the most
Me am
outlandish
so-
Asian accent yesterday
Hold on,
or the
hold
other
on.
day at our D&D game.
So, speaking of outlandish,
I don't touch anything, Mr. Jones.
did you guys see? Speaking of outlandish,
Uh-huh.
Outlandish was a good segue.
Yes.
Did you guys see the 10 Explorers that were sold? The Explorer blasters?
You're right, outlandish is a good segue.
Oh,
Oh, yes.
$1,196.84 to be exact. Thanks
Each?
for Duke Wintermall for giving us the hookup. Yeah,
Can you say that number again because I got lost?
$1,196.84.
You are no longer... Wait, wait, wait.
$1,196.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you are no longer the 1% of Nerf B.F.U. because you do not own one of these.
Yes, I've been kicked.
Josh, let me explain some math to you real quick. So there's the 1%
Don't,
of
Josh,
Nerf.
don't.
What?
Don't
I didn't...
don't
what?
poke the bear.
Don't
Because then
poke-
you're gonna get me. My wife's gonna leave me.
I'll leave you.
An Explorer blaster's gonna show up.
Yeah, Explorer Blast
Look
shows
at
up
it,
and like,
gets a whole
good job, dumbass. What are you going to do with
75
this? It only fires Stefan Riri.
Oh, yes. But I will have it.
Yeah, and you're going to be like, but I got
Like my
I
pirate
got 10
pistol.
glue domes, Josh. I got them from a guy in Australia.
They shoot like lasers.
I'll be like,
No, so they made a bunch of different ones. They're all different designs, all different colors.
Uh-huh.
woo.
I will give them credit. They are machining all the metal, so I'm sure they're not cheap.
Oh,
to
no,
make.
yeah, I'm
Oh,
sure
yeah,
they're great
absolutely.
for other wars.
But Singapore, word, son?
Hey, they don't
You
have...
just got monies like that?
Well, they ain't got airsoft and paintball. So the people who are hardcore about Nerf are like, imagine airsoft, paintball, and the people in the Nerf hobby all combining into one. So the people who spend thousands of dollars on airsoft and paintball have nothing to spend it on. So
That's
why
true.
not?
That's true. Maybe we need to get rid of airsoft and paintball in this country.
Yeah, get on it, Obama.
No.
No, if I make poison paintballs
Yes.
and shoot them at nuns,
yes.
What?
and then blame it on the paintball manufacturers.
Yes.
I don't even...
Which is like blaming it on the paint manufacturers, really.
Or if I could tape.
Tape?
No, forget it.
TAINP.
Even what
Tape.
I was gonna say was too extreme for this podcast.
Oh, boy.
Like BoomCo Extreme
No,
or
no.
like
Ooh.
Like,
Arjong
get us-
So,
Extreme.
we have continuously
get me kicked
had
off the show
requests.
and get off of YouTube.
We have continuously had requests to discuss BoomCo over and over again, even though I feel like since its inception, we've talked about it every time. We've been like,
so let's
so we're like, so BoomCo was announced. It doesn't look amazing. And then we're like, BoomCo was reviewed. It's not amazing. BoomCo, it's not a good thing. And then this podcast, we're like, all right, we got more requests to talk about BoomCo.
Okay, I got it. Here's what we're gonna do.
Yeah,
let's
flip the hat around, Ash Ketchum.
Yes.
Shit got real. He doesn't even get that reference.
He got you.
Yeah, gotta catch them all.
Yeah, he just said Pikachu.
No, I heard Pokemon. I know who
I-
freaking Ash Ketchum is.
Yeah.
Charmander, Char.
With stupid backpack.
Squirtle.
He was
Pokemon
with
once.
stupid backpack.
He had a backpack, didn't he?
Yes, he did have a backpack.
And he had the things that look like Pokemon's was about the things that look like you fish with them.
Yes.
The fishing, the bobbers in the
You fish with Pokemon.
No, you idiot.
No, if you look at the
I mean, you
fishermen
can
in the
fish with
game, they
Pokemon.
do use Pokeballs at the end of their fishing
No,
lines.
the Pokeballs look like the they're called
Lures,
buoys.
the little bobbers.
They're, yeah, they
Yeah,
look
yeah.
like bobbers.
Yes.
Baba Booey.
It was just a hole cut in the front with
Howard
the
Stern.
Pokemons.
Yep.
Anyways, they actually look like, to me, because they had the little lens in the front, right?
Sure.
It's a button.
No, it looks like a white and red Death Star.
It does.
Yeah, I could do that. I could
Like
do
somebody was fishing and watching Star Wars, and boom, Pokemans came.
Oh, we got
it.
Yeah, they were
Yes.
killing dolphins in Japan.
that. So anyway, you were talking.
So I have an idea.
Yep.
What if we really quick?
Yes.
We will do BoomCo in a semi kind of sort of debate format.
Okay.
There's a debate. All right.
Okay.
Wait, which side am I on?
Well, whichever side. Well,
Do I have to play devil's advocate?
No, no,
I'll
hold
be
on.
devil's advocate.
No,
I can
no,
do
no,
this.
Forget devil's advocate. No, we'll do this the fair way. We'll flip for it. Pro or con, Sean?
Pro.
Pro? Pro is heads.
What's
Okay.
going to happen when we all get the same thing?
It is heads. You're pro, you're con.
Okay. This will be very easy.
Okay.
Josh.
Okay, so I will
I
moderate.
can play devil's advocate.
No, I definitely
Okay,
can.
got it, there we
I
go.
will
I
make
will
anything happen.
moderate.
Okay.
I need to see you both to moderate.
Oh, here, why don't I just do this?
There we go.
You need to secure this more so I can actually lean back during the
So
show.
the first question from our viewing audience that didn't really ask this question.
Nope.
Yeah, I don't know who Josh was talking about.
What value, if any, do you see in the BoomCo product and why? We will let the con side go first.
Well, that's a very good question, Mr. Moderator. I'd like to point out that Nerf and all of Nerf's products are very, very well constructed. You get a great value for your money, and go Nerf.
And the pro can rebut.
Mr. Moderator, I want to tear down this wall that Nerf has built. It is constricting to the blaster community, the toy community. But seriously, I'm not going to do a
Yeah.
voice the whole time.
So that's your answer? I'd like to say to both of you,
Uh-huh.
that was the most inane babbling I've ever heard. I award you both no points.
And may God have mercy on your souls. Yes.
Nice setup, guys.
It's about love and trying.
Anyway, seriously, I'll let the con side go
yeah.
first.
I mean, really, the biggest con I think that everybody has with it is that they're not compatible with Nerf. Like right out the gate, that's the biggest thing. The rest is kind of here or there. It's take it or leave it, because you might like the ergonomics of it. Some of them are kind of small. I haven't held one in my hand, so I can't vouch for the quality of plastics and things.
Mhm.
A lot of them, they obviously aren't magazine or clip fed,
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like for first gen blasters, a lot of people were willing to just say like, nah, it's cool. We understand you got to make something that's kind of simple, kind of easy. But the big thing was compatibility.
Got it. And the pro would like to say in rebuttal.
So here's my thing. I don't really see Dart incompatibility being a major concern just because I look at the Nerf community. We have people using classic orange streamlines. We have whistlers. We have Dart Tag darts. We have the Elite streamlines. We have Koosh darts. We now have Steffens, Southside Slugs, whatever you want to call them. Already people are trying. Yeah, that's the thing. There are already a bunch of different dart types that aren't completely compatible with every single Nerf gun out there. I mean, the streamlines are the closest, but even their performance can vary from blaster to blaster. If you want better range, you're going to have to build a better dart, and that's what I'm hearing from these so far. Is just the design is very unique. The sticky part on the end of the dart is definitely something that's not being done, and I like to point out that Nerf, at least from our perspective so far, has pretty much given up on the dart tagline. So BoomCo is actually taking care of a market that Nerf has kind of forsaken in the meantime. Now, that's not to say Nerf isn't trying to bring it back in the form of the RFID chip darts.
10 seconds.
But with that, it's going to be very expensive and very cost prohibitive, which is a problem for people who want to get different darts anyway, so might as well get different darts that are cheaper to buy overall and play with.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'm sure the viewers appreciate that. Second question.
Oh, there's more.
Fast forward 365 days. Where is the Nerf BoomCo war in a year's time? I will let the pro go first this time.
I see it being way more competitive. The biggest advantage right now, Mattel has a lot of money. They are the #1 toy manufacturer in the world, while Hasbro is actually at #3. So with that, they have the resources to dedicate to an actual all-out battle against Nerf in the toy blaster market. There have been other competitors to the phone or thrown, like Tech Recon, Buzzbee. They don't have the resources to throw at this like Mattel does. So assuming Mattel keeps going forward with their marketing, coming up with new blasters, sticking to a design that works so people don't have to keep switching from different dart types, and come up with new and better ways to make their blasters work, they're not just here to test the market. They're here to make improvements. So this is basically the first shot that's fired. In a year, it's going to be the war. It's going to be the all-out battle. That's when you're going to see people on both sides of a playing field using different model blasters, different types of blasters from different brands. And it's going to be way more competitive, and it's going to be a way more diverse market that benefits us by driving down costs, increasing performance, and making the big guys battle it out for our money.
And now the cons rebuttal.
Ooh. In a year, I don't think we're going to be seeing too much from BoomCo. We might see a second line, but I'm picturing a more Tech Recon, where they brought out a blaster and some new ammo, and they're just kind of limping along. They'll probably do better than that, just because, as Sean stated, they do have the resources to continue to throw at this. If this is something that they initially make money on, I think that if they try to enter the blaster market and they just outright fail, that they know well enough to just say, well, we can come back with different designs and rebrand it as something different and just completely let BoomCo die, which would be awesome if they did that and then came out with something that was more Nerf compatible or similar. I feel like they are, because they are so different, use different types of ammo, that while they're both blasters, that they are not competing on sort of the same level.
And the third and final question. Do you feel that BoomCo has been given enough press or not enough press during this slow period of Nerf inactivity? And how will said inactivity from Hasbro affect BoomCo's launch? We will flip for this one because Khan has stayed on time and been concise in both answers. Call it in the air.
Tails.
It is heads. Pro, you may choose to go first or save for the rebuttal.
I'll go for the rebuttal.
Con, you may go first.
All right. Well, I think that as far as BoomCo having sort of the market's ear right now, they haven't, in my opinion, gotten as much press as some of the previous contenders like Tech Recon. Tech Recon was all over the place, winning all sorts of awards, really put their name out there. During the toy fair and things like that, we've continued to see things come out from them, and they've really engaged the community in a good way.
And I heard they were on Nerfcast as well.
They were. BoomCo has advertised a little bit, but I feel like we didn't see a lot at Toy Fair from them. Actually, I don't think we saw anything at Toy Fair from them. They just sort of announced and ran with it. Their marketing campaign hasn't been great because they announced and then released almost immediately in the UK. We haven't seen anything over here, and obviously they didn't advertise on the biggest Nerf podcast on the internet, so they can't get anywhere then.
And the senator from American Samoa.
Here's the thing about Tech Recon. They had a bunch of hype around them, a big following with their Kickstarter. All that hype led nowhere. It was all the more crushing because everyone flew that much higher to the sun, thinking there's a true competitor, and it just falls off. Doesn't it make more sense to just have a regular release? Not a huge big thing, but they're releasing out in the UK right now. They've barely started their US campaign. They're trying to ease people into this transition. If you come in like so many others, like a force trying to knock off the king, it doesn't work that way. It's a slow process. You have to seep into every aspect of the community and work your way in. And you know what? Aren't all the blogs talking about it right now? They're talking about it with that same critical eye that we look at with Nerf. And that right there is the big difference. We're not being forgiving because it's different. We're looking at it as if it's a true competitor. And that right there says enough.
Senator, Congressman, on behalf of Nerfcast, I would like to thank both of our panelists for having a discussion in a pro-con debate that was not really a pro-con debate, but was still very informative. And I hope our viewers enjoyed this time. And it will not be the first time nor the last time. Well, it was the first time, but it won't be the last time this year that we do said debate format. If you like it, rate, comment, subscribe.
There we go.
This is Chuck Bernstein from Nerfcast. Sleeping with the fishes.
Good night and God bless.
That was fun.
Well, that
I enjoyed
happened.
the crap out of that.
What?
I enjoyed the crap out of that. I can't lie.
Oh, we're going to start a Nerf debate club.
Debate.
Yes. Well, next time can we do a Phoenix Wright setup?
Objection.
Oh, we could have James moderate. We could do 3 candidates.
Yes.
So hopefully for all the people that are asking about BoomCo, we've covered all the bases we can cover so far without having touch held or fired said blaster. Funny thing is, I'm actually more excited about the snipe darts than I am about the BoomCo stuff.
The X snipe or
Yeah.
cross snipe?
Yeah. Cross snipe. Yeah, X snipe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Snipe. It's a thing. I mean, it's not that it's bad. It's a thing. It's just
Yeah, I mean, I'm
As
not
far
going to use
as-
them on the field.
right. Exactly. That's the thing. I feel like as far as us in a community. We just aren't going to use them in games because it'll be expensive. It's a cool idea. I mean, I'm sure
Is a thing.
we are not its target audience. Clearly.
No, I have this vision of setting up a course.
Yes, you want to do an
yeah,
IPSC
using
course,
tablets.
and that would be friggin' awesome.
That would be
it
really,
just be
really
like
fun.
a sideshow
Yeah.
attraction.
Oh yeah.
You guys do like events as your other thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
could be fun.
It would be tons
Yeah.
of fun.
It's
We used
a-
to do that with airsoft all the time.
It's a very fun concept. I think kids will enjoy it a lot because kids love to shoot their blasters, and that way parents don't have to worry about kids shooting other kids in the eye.
That is a
That's
thing.
always a plus.
I mean, blasters do. It's weird to me because blasters, like, you generally say do not aim at like people or pets and stuff. But all the dart tag stuff just says remember to wear eye protection.
Yes.
Question, not to rehash this.
Yeah.
Why and who called them Southside Slugs?
Want to say it was Lord Draconis?
Wait,
Lord Draconical?
Draconical or Draconis?
Yeah.
Drac?
Drac.
Okay.
That's Lord Draconis, right?
No.
No. Different guy.
Draconis. Lord Draconical.
That's cool. You answered the question. I'm good.
Yeah.
Next topic.
The guy who does the YouTube videos.
Next topic.
That is Lord Draconical.
Yeah.
Not
Lord-
Draconis.
With the
Okay.
Draculina.
Yeah.
Lord Drac.
Yes.
Yeah, next topic.
Banger Banger Red.
Yes. That is a thing. Continue.
Next topic. I think this is the one we all had in mind for today. Where's it at? B.F.U, you want to grab one?
No, behind that.
Oh!
Yeah, there you go.
Uh-huh.
For bling bling.
I like how you didn't hold that on camera, so nobody. And you're holding it off
Action!
camera.
Hey, let me do my thing.
Okay.
I make with the entertainment. You make with the historical references to Kid Icarus.
Historical.
Mythological, historical. Same. Hey, if the
Kid
Bible's-
Icarus
if
was
the
a video
Bible-
game that
hold on.
came out in the 80s.
Icarus,
That is,
if the Bible is historical, then Greek mythology has to be historical too.
Fact. I ordained that
Sony.
as a history.
Kim,
bam.
affordable for every one of us.
Yes. So there was a thread on Reddit
Action
Bam.
camera.
that got a little bit of attention with picking up action cams for really cheap at Best Buy, which we went ahead and did.
Action camera.
Yeah, we might have cleaned out some of our local Best Buy. When I say cleaned out, I mean we're talking about the display model, so there was really only one per Best Buy. There are just a lot of Best Buys in our area.
And by some of the Best Buys, I mean all the Best Buys in the Bay Area.
I don't know about all of them. There's a couple.
I'd say like 90%.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, we covered. Oh,
Yeah.
somebody
They closed a lot, so there's not as many as there used to be.
Yeah,
That is also true.
good
yes.
thing for them.
So Sony Action Cam, for those of you aren't aware, they are basically like a GoPro made by Sony.
GoPro
After-
competitor.
After GoPro got big, everyone started actually making their own version of GoPro.
Yep.
So Sony has an action cam.
Yeah.
Other big camera brands like Canon has one, I believe.
They do?
Yeah, everyone has one.
Oh, they'll be on clear.
One of my friends, Amy, actually went through and like listed out 10 different brands that each had their version of the GoPro.
Huh.
And like I said, they're all basically, for the most part, they're all basically the same thing. There are a couple features, of course, that make them different.
Yes.
Sure.
The software, obviously, like the GoPro seems to be ahead of everyone else, being able to talk to your phone and do a lot of controls with your phone.
Sony does it.
Cool. Sony
Mhm.
does that as well.
Yep.
That's
The
the
contour is supposed to be cool because you can rotate the lens.
yeah, that is nice. But the thing is, in post, you can actually edit the image. So if you have it flipped upside down or like 90 degrees the wrong way, you can always make it work.
Huh.
It's not a big deal.
Yeah. I don't know. What do we want to talk about these besides we got them?
Oh, well, so hold on.
Well, how do we want to
go tell people? So I think we get to the nitty gritty and tell them how they may go step by step on how you yourself, you Nerf audience, you YouTube, you America, can get one of these awesome action cams too.
Listen to our testimonials. I was sitting at home and doing nothing
Actually, Sean can't.
and had no camera. B.F.U called me and said they were on sale for cheap, and now I have 3 action cameras. B.F.U got me action camera, and he can get one for you too.
Might be the funniest thing you've ever done in your entire life. All the dumb shit you say, that's just made up for it. That made up for Jane Austen.
Man, you never let that go, do you?
Nope.
Jane
Really?
Austen is like your go.
Really?
Like, so he talked about Jane Austen.
Hold on, Captain Bioshot over here you're gonna yell at me for not letting shit go.
Nah, I mean, you know. I don't talk about the Bioshock. I don't talk
Get
about
some
Jane
two starts.
Austen. Woo.
That just made up for all of it.
Yes.
The women, Jack London, all those cats. Anyone you brought up for no freaking reason. That doesn't make
These
sense.
are very specific examples of people whose works I do enjoy.
And you very specifically
Jack London is a furry.
cornhole him into the podcast. And you cornhole him into the podcast and cornhole them into the listeners' ears.
Remember that time on Star Trek The Next Generation when Data got lost in San Francisco in the past?
Yes.
And he was hanging out with Mark Twain, and it turned out that the bellboy all the time was Jack London trying to impress Mark Twain.
Anyways,
Indeed.
don't unmake up for what you just made up for.
Oh, I'll tear it down, trust me.
I think you actually say Gorbachev, Mr. Whatever, tear this down this wall. I think you said that
Gorbachev?
multiple times too.
Nerf, tear down this
No,
wall.
I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure you,
that's-
that's bad.
you know.
Sean has
Sometimes
running
you got to have
themes.
recurring themes.
To be fair,
Those jokes.
Sean does have his bachelor's degree in history, so
Oh.
that could be the reason he
Yes.
does all this shit.
That reminds me, I need to pick up pickles.
Oh, that's a pickle.
So,
Cat party.
you want me to explain, Josh? You want to explain? You want to co-explain how this is going to work for those folks? out there?
So I will give the super short version, and you can give the actual version. The super short version is go to Reddit and read the topic on this, because it explains how to do it.
Yes, go to www.reddit.com/r/nerf.
The longer version is walk into your local Best Buy. It's always good to have a cover story when you're walking in to do something. This is kind of in the gray, right? So Josh and I went around. We were latex door-to-door salesmen. That was our cover story. No, it really was. Yeah, it was Tom Rinaldi and Jack Foam. Anyways, go to your local Best Buy. You're looking for the Sony Action Cam AS15, not the V. No Vs. If you see a V, bad idea. AS15.
Yeah, you're probably stuck in a weird movie with Natalie Portman with a shaved head if you find a V.
So, go to your local Best Buy. They're going to say they're out of stock. Some places will actually still have open boxes. You want to try to avoid these places until you've already picked up a couple. You want to go purchase the display model. They're going to say we're out. We only got display model now. Initially, you may get some pushback from your friendly yellow shirts. And it's not because they like to give pushback. It's because they're dumb.
They're blue shirts.
They're blue shirts. It's okay.
Blue shirts?
Yeah.
I thought they wore yellow, too.
Yellow security.
Yeah.
That's
Oh.
asset protection.
Really? I thought some
Yeah,
were
no.
yellow.
Oh, blue.
Your friendly blue shirts. Whatevs. Either way, you may get pushback. If you get that pushback, go to guest services, tell them what you want. Guest services will be like, yeah, we want to sell this thing because it's just going to sit here and then go away. Sean worked at Best Buy, and he may attest.
I worked at Best Buy for 5 years, and you can too.
So it's going to take them probably anywhere from 20 minutes to an hour to unscrew this thing and figure out how to get it off display because apparently there's one magical tool and it never
Yep.
be
I like to
found.
point out it sounds like only one store had a problem with it.
Oh, no.
Everyone else, really?
No. Oh, yeah.
No.
Like 5 or 6 stores. had a
Yeah,
problem
it was
with
rough.
Oh.
We remember Josh and I, while you were at work,
Yes.
I happened to be on vacation. Josh and I spent my vacation days driving all the way up to the tip of San Francisco and all the way back.
We did. It's
So
ridiculous.
we saw the good ones, we saw the bad ones. Now, some of the action cams will not have any batteries, but we only found that twice,
Like 2 or 3 times.
2 out of 10,
Mhm.
11,
Yeah.
12.
Yeah.
Something like that.
So you're likely going to get a battery. Some will even have all the accessories, some will not. They should not charge you more than $54
yeah.
If it's incomplete.
if it's incomplete.
Correct.
If it's complete, it's going to be more like $74
yes.
to $94.
If it
it's
has
at that one Best Buy.
so
yeah.
no, that happened in multiple
Oh,
Best
is it?
Buys. Yeah.
Okay.
So some of them will have batteries, some of them will have the case, some of them will have everything, some of them will have mixed match parts. Usually if they have anything, they tend to go
A little higher.
yeah, it'll be between the $54.99
I think
and the
85 is what the most was.
yeah, but I mean
That's for
usually
complete.
yeah, if you're
It's
getting
basically 5 to 10% per accessory
Yeah.
missing.
exactly. So you usually with a battery and or a case, you're getting about 65.
So
Sometimes it comes up 54 in their systems. It just depends on how they
as
run
low as 55, as high as 85 is what we saw.
it. Yes.
But they were on clearance for $130 when they had them in stock.
Right.
So even at $85, you're still getting the super dope hookup.
Mm-hmm.
And not on clearance, they're normally $199.99.
Yes.
Correct. Cheapest we saw them non-clearance was Fry's. At
That was
$170.
their down price because they were the old
Right.
model. Before this, they came out. They were $249, I think.
Last year when they came out.
Last year when they came
So
out.
you are getting last year's model, but you're not really missing out on very many features. You have 1080p, 60 frames a second, so that's good. You can do 720 up to 720p up to 120 frames a second for super ridiculous slow. Man, I've always wanted to do that. So Wi-Fi is enabled. You can control it from your phone.
Mm-hmm.
Be careful. They have their own camera ecosystem like GoPro, so you got to buy the mounts and all the side stuff.
Yep.
Or you can make your own stuff. There's a gentleman Josh found on YouTube that made his own mount out of PVC pipe.
Yep.
Gotta love the middle of the country.
You.
And the other cool feature that I like is they charge off a normal micro USB charger where the GoPros are still using minis for some ungodly reason.
Yeah.
Micro USB. They have an input for a mic.
Mm-hmm. And they have a really good dual mic setup in the front.
And they have
the actual onboard mic is really nice.
And
a lot of people are like, yeah, they're like the best out of all the action cams that I've seen reviewed. People are usually like, yeah, it has the best microphone.
And they got a super slim profile.
Carl Zeiss lens. For those of you who are actually into that sort of thing, you'll know what that means.
But more importantly, I would encourage some of the community to get out, and if they don't have an action camera, maybe cop one. You're gonna spend $200 to $300, $400 on a GoPro. You can get this one for under $100.
Yep.
And it'll do. It's pretty much equivalent to a GoPro Silver. So, go out and buy a Sony cam.
Yes.
If you do pick up the Sony cam, they will be completely original from the factory, so you'll need to download the newest firmware for it, which is on the Sony website,
and that's
which
what
will
unlocks,
allow you.
That's what unlocks the 60 frames per second for
Correct.
1080p mode.
A lot of the reviews will say that, it only goes up to on 1080p, it only goes to 30 frames per second, and so they'll have it against a GoPro that's doing 60, and they're like, well, it's way better because you get 60 frames per second. I'm like, yeah, but this was made like last year or something, when way before the firmware came out. So, yeah, just a quick note so people don't feel like, oh, you guys lied to me.
That's our gift for the Nerf community for this year, this month.
Yep.
Not that anyone cared, but you think more people would give a shit?
Some people just want to play.
Filming Nerf, yeah, I understand that.
I mean, we have a lot of players at our games who just literally show up and play.
No, I think given options and more means, more of them would run cameras.
We'll find out when the ECS LMNOP comes out. So if everybody's running one of those, then we'll know.
No. Someone's going to show up to the ECS LMNOP. I'm going to hand them $75 and break it over my knee.
Oh, wow, so much hatred. It's beautiful.
Because
I understand why. It's just
all
beautiful.
Right, hold on. Our Nerfcast, I'm going to do something that I normally don't.
No,
I'll wait for another podcast to get my B.F. ECS LMNOD set up ready, and then I am going to at some point in time this year show you how you can do what Nerf did for retail about the same cost of that blaster and have like way better specs.
Yes.
I had an ECS 12 that only had 12 pixel resolution. B.F.U contacted me to help out. Now it does 1080p 60 frames per second. Thank you, B.F.U. You too can have a good camera on your blaster.
Oh, he's going to wear this joke out because it's going to make me smile for like a month.
Yep.
That's a thing.
I just wish I had like very bored dancing girls behind me and I was on a yacht right now.
This.
Yeah. I'm getting 20 an hour to do this.
Yeah, you know.
And cut. That was 5 minutes. Damn it. I didn't think this out. My life.
That leads to another question.
Yes.
I think the question was posed by Jangular to the Nerf community at large.
Yes.
What kind of videos what kind of video setups do you guys like? Sean?
Oh, you're asking us specifically.
Yeah, I mean.
We are also asking the viewers, but, you know.
I mean, we're going to ask you all eventually, but for now, for us in the room, what I personally like, two things. I watch a lot of movies. I watch a lot of action movies, so I understand how they set up certain shots to look good and look bad. To be honest, there's a reason why you never see long shots in action movies. It's because they get very slow and very boring when you're just taking everything in. It's hard to take it all in. Now, that said, and this is obviously going to be hard for a couple people, I like a mix of third-person perspective and first-person perspective.
So over-the-shoulder motor holder.
Actually, for me, I really like the idea of like a chest-mounted system. The only issue I have with that is if you're holding a blaster, it might block some of the action, so it has to be higher up. It's basically going to be the same thing as like having a camera on top of your blaster, but obviously with that, every time you point a blaster down, the camera goes down
you
with
want
it.
like throat cam.
Yeah. Because I feel like head's a little too high. Like it's hard to get the blaster in the shot sometimes. Also true.
If you have a Josh, you're good.
Yes. But I feel like when you're playing a lot of video games, like for example, Team Fortress 2, the camera is much closer to your chest than it is actually up to where your head is. True fact. So that's why I feel like when people go in and watch these point of view videos, they want to see something like they would see in a video game. They want to see something that's like, oh, that's where I would see this in a video game. And also third-person perspective, because sometimes, obviously, you're only able to see so much from your perspective. Being able to get a view of like the play field at large while you're playing helps out too. But then that's basically saying, okay, have a dedicated cameraman follow you around, and get those shots. With us at our games, I was actually running around with the camera, trying to capture footage of everyone, and I don't know what happened to all that footage. I'm assuming.
I mean, it was just horrible.
I'm just assuming it was
like
really
the worst
bad.
thing I've ever seen. Like so much shaky. It was like Blair Witch, but with foam.
Oh, shaky.
No, I've never seen it.
But basically, a good idea for our games, because we do have people who will sit aside and actually record for a round. And now that we have like 20,000 cameras we can use, if you haven't seen Jangular's videos, go to youtube.com. Jangular, Jangula.
He's Jangular.
I think it's spelled. He does a lot of Nerf videos on there. Check him out. He did a video recently from our first burn game of the season where he had one camera facing his face, another one facing out on his blaster. So he's able to switch the shots based on if he was like talking a lot or he got tagged out versus if he was shooting and wanting to show the action on the field. It would almost make sense to have someone like me, if I'm sitting out or another player, follow him around with the camera just so you get that third perspective. But then, of course, you want to get footage of everyone, so it kind of helps to run around and just look for where the action is.
I mean, yeah, I think it depends on what you want to do, too. Because if you want to chronicle yourself playing Nerf, you know what I mean, then, yeah, just slap some cameras on and play. And then cut it up, edit it, make it look good, only show your hits, never show your deaths. KD is awesome.
You always got to show your deaths because the deaths are the best part of Nerf.
If you get 25 kills, no deaths, you get a Moab.
Sometimes you can't see them on your end. Plus KD.
True.
I don't know what people online like. But I'm just saying, if you don't have a dedicated cameraman and all you want to see is yourself playing Nerf or, you know, somebody playing Nerf, then just go that route.
Yeah, I would feel overall like if you're just having one camera to work with.
Right.
I personally would put it on your head.
Yes.
Because it means you're less likely to run into that problem where your gun always has to be pacing forward or facing forward and catching the action. Instead, you have it on your head. Just make sure to be kind of looking around always, and it'll capture most of the action for you.
Yeah, if you've got one camera, I would suggest head mounting it. Jangular, I think, had two and had one on his head and one on his blaster that was facing back towards him in his setup.
The other issue with blasters and cams on blasters, if you're running a flywheel blaster, that can get loud.
Yes.
So it does help to go into post and either put music over it or have audio commentary over it, or just kind of mux it down a little bit too.
Yeah, I mean that's the other thing that I was gonna say. It really depends on what you're trying to do. If you're just trying to put, here's me, here's raw footage, then by all means just raw footage it. If you're trying to make like a video, you know, or if you're trying to get a more accurate representation of what's going on with everybody, you know, you can maybe plan some stuff out. If you're looking at making just Nerf fun videos, that's a whole different thing. So it's all about what you want to do and how you want to do it and display it to the YouTubes or however you get your content into the online community.
I mean, ideally speaking, if everyone were recording their own footage at our games and just doing it from their perspective, we could do a super splice together of all the action.
Yes.
Once again, Jangular has done that a couple times. I remember there was one video where it was you and him on opposite teams, and he was doing like a back and forth where it was an exchange between both of you, and because you both had cameras, you're able to capture that.
Yep.
If not, I mean, that's a great way just to capture a game in general. Just walk around, just talk. That's what Basic Nerf basically does in his videos.
Yeah.
He'll go out with a GoPro and just like play the game.
I mean, that's it. That's the raw. That's the real Nerf. Don't need no embedded reporters. Just strap a cam, go. Yeah, I mean, it would be really cool to see more of that. When there are a lot of videos that do that, so keep doing what you do.
What kind of video do you like?
All of them.
Anything. The Nerf ones.
Yeah, I'm pretty. The ones with foam. I think gun. I like gun.
So no BoomCo.
I like gun mounted. I'm not gonna lie.
Gun mounted. Oh
Something
yeah.
about seeing the barrel of the gun.
It does look really nice when you see the barrel.
Something like the FPS. I mean, if you got one cam and you're not worried about getting the bestest footage ever, I would rock. Because I won't watch a video that's just. I'm a highlight guy.
Right. That's one of the things.
Like, put your shit in highlight. It's like I want the highlights. I don't want you walking around for 20 minutes defending a base. Like I got stuck defending a base with the camera last game, and I'm like, this video's gonna suck.
Yeah.
Because no one attacked the damn base. I'm like.
Yeah.
Unless you can, crop in some tumbleweeds.
I think that's the problem with a lot of HVZ videos, because a lot of it is just whenever I try and look it up to show it to new people, it's like, here's an example of HVZ, and they're like, why are people just walking for 10 minutes? It's like, no. At 7 minutes, you see he shot a zombie, and then like a bunch of people ran in. I'm like, yeah, but you don't see any of that in the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think hopefully Jangular's commentary thing over the video catches on. That's a cool way. I think a cool way of doing it.
Oh, I think having a good explanation of how the game is that you're playing or the game type, because I mean, obviously we don't all play Nerf the same way.
Nope,
so
that's for damn sure.
So it's always good to set up and say, hey, here's kind of the way we do stuff. This is the game type. This is the objective. These are the rules. You're out. You got this many lives, or you don't, or whatever. Just so people can kind of get a feel for it. And his overlay of the field and actually showing where the points were was really awesome, I think.
Yeah.
No, he does really good work. I would say out of everyone taking footage from Nerf Wars, I like his the best. He puts the most work into it. He creates the overlay showing weapons, dart types. I mean,
that was awesome too. His overlay with the weapons and all that, and reloading and everything. That was cool.
It's funny because initially you would think there wouldn't be a need for that, but you start to realize, like I was talking about before, all the different dart types out there and all the different blasters. He actually took a picture of his modded Rapid Strike that was painted red and actually put that in there. I like that a lot.
In my video.
Yeah, and obviously this is a lot of effort. This is something we've talked about in the past too. Yeah. It's just Nerf is one thing. Obviously, you all have one common hobby that brings you all together. But the hobby itself attracts all these people with other skill sets. You have people who are good at modding, you have people who are good at videoing, you're having people who's good at hyping stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
There are all these different aspects and skills you can bring to a war that can make it that much better.
And I think having people in the Nerf community that do these things and do them well, especially videos, helps grow the sport a lot, because people who might have a passing interest, they go look up some videos and they see some really cool and fun-looking Nerf videos, and not, again, people walking around for 10 minutes with their blaster on the ground so you don't see anything. People who see that high-quality production, will be more likely to try to pick up the sport, try to grow it in their area, and have some fun with it. I mean, I see so many... I don't really look at paintballs much, but I used to see a lot of airsoft videos when I was doing airsoft, of people rocking cams and then just splicing together highlight reels and stuff like that. And it really makes it enjoyable for people who are either getting into it or already into it, ideas to do things differently or make theirs better.
ESPN needs 65 more networks. We could make the top 65.
I think we can get on the Ocho.
I mean,
ESPN, the Ocho.
If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a foam bullet.
A dart?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was awesome. Thank you guys for your insightful commentary on that. The viewers appreciate it.
I hope so.
Actually, going off from Josh's point too, something I love that I've seen on Reddit lately is everyone posting about wars. Like all of us, one day I just logged into Reddit and look and see like, oh, there's like 5 different wars posted on here right now.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And I was
time of the year.
Yep. I mean, everyone's trying to play up again. But what I like too is I feel like everyone is starting up their own Nerf groups. And I've been fortunate enough to talk to a couple people. Like I was able to talk to the Recon folks over in Ohio.
Right.
Rob Evans' group over in in Colorado. I talked to him as well.
Yep.
And they're just starting up. We got to compare notes basically on how they're running their wars, what they're doing, what games they're running. And it was really, really exciting because I feel like, of course, everyone talks about HVZ. HVZ is a big thing all around the U.S. Everyone goes to campuses to play. A lot of big colleges have their own HVZ scene. Nobody is doing consistent Nerf wars.
Right.
Like, for what we would call NIC wars, I feel like they're very few and far and in between. It's very seldom I see like someone who hosts 1 to 2 games a month for Nerf wars that aren't HVZ related.
I mean, outside of California.
Outside of California. Obviously, the Bay Area is this weird cluster where we have 3 main groups who are all pushing very hard to have games at least once a month. Connor's case twice a month for Foam Action Network, which is a lot. Josh and I used to do 2 games a month, and it is exhausting. You feel like every single weekend is either hosting a Nerf war or preparing for the next Nerf war.
Yeah, F that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need our weekends back.
Forced.
But yeah, just seeing all these different groups pop up, all wanting to play Nerf, all putting systems in place to make it better. It's not like show up, hope everyone has enough blasters and enough darts to play. Rules aren't going to be outlined. Like a couple people like, I really like the dart rental rule. That's a great way to host a war and just charge people up front to say, hey, use as many darts as you need to. Just pay up front. We'll have a pool. End of the night, we just sweep them all up. You don't have to sit here and spend an hour sorting through for your darts.
Yeah, that's rough.
And I do feel good that people have adopted that system, and they seem to think it's working.
That's cool.
And just also talking about different game types, what's fun, what's not fun. If you ever want to hit us up and talk about that, by the way, I'm always down to talk about Nerf wars with people. So I've had a couple people actually add me on Facebook. It's very easy to figure out who I am, so I'm not going to let it out here and get a swarm of invites. But if you're determined enough, I mean...
I haven't said your name like twice a podcast.
Yeah. But a lot of people, my name is very common. You will come up with 5 million of my name on Facebook.
Yep.
But if you look in the right Nerf groups, you actually see my name pop up. And I think a lot of people have added me from there. Same with Josh. He's the one who promotes all of our stuff on Facebook, so you'll see him posting all the time in different groups.
That is true. If you do try to get in contact with me, PM me as opposed to just doing a friend request, because if I don't know who you are, I seldom respond to friend requests.
Whoopsie.
But if you PM me and say, like, I'm doing a Nerf group, or just PM one of the groups that, we're moderators on.
Or email us at barriernerf.com. That always works, too.
Yep.
Facebook, I add everyone. If I don't really know you, but I see, like, oh, you're friends with this other person who does Nerf, I'm like, okay, that's how.
Good enough for me.
Good enough for me.
Yeah.
But I feel like we've talked before about how Nerf is still kind of small in a niche community.
Yep.
I'm starting to feel like I'm seeing the inklings that it's starting to grow into an actual thing. And that makes me really excited.
That means there will need to be an overlord.
All right.
I'm voting Drek.
Yes.
Nerf overlord.
Banger for life.
Or Bobo.
I mean, he is like the tallest.
I mean, if we're going with like organizational skills, then Josh is in, but
yes.
Shh.
I'm just the liaison.
Napoleon foam apart.
Yes.
No, it's always good to see the community growing, especially with all of the elite stuff that's come out over the past couple of years. It's been a great time to get started and not have to worry about making Steffens and buying a bunch of extra stuff and modding your blasters and learning a bunch of codes for stuff on McMaster.com so you can buy the right CPVC and PETG.
That was a thing year one of Nerf for us.
I tend to come into hobbies right as they're past the infancy bootleg phase and hitting their stride.
No, you got past the terrible twos.
Yeah, we're hitting our stride.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is like,
this is
the baby can
basically
walk on its own.
The kids
give
are
me a beer. It listens. If I threaten it, it'll stop.
The kids are finally in play school now and interacting with other children, and that's what I like.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I'm glad I got in when I got in because I don't think I would have made it through the dark ages.
No, you would have showed up. It was like, why are you guys putting a bunch of darts in a duct tape bag?
Oh, yeah,
well, no. Hold on. I have a healthy respect for the duct tape.
You should see the bag of sorting.
RTDP.
You did.
RTDP.
We use the bag of sorting every
I
game.
also respect the DP, but
different
DT.
reasons.
yeah.
RTDT.
You said
Did I say DT? Oops, I meant DT.
RTDT.
RTDT.
R2D2.
RTF C3PO.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Whatever you respect it.
Oh,
Yes.
and RTCF too.
Okay.
The craft foam.
I know.
Nerf duct tape.
Yes.
Yes. That is indeed craft foam.
Yeah.
It is blue. It is stuck to the back of a blaster.
Yes.
It makes it comfy.
It does, actually. I did that to mine. Except for mine is stripped across the other way, and I tried heating it up and molding it around it, and then I
Did that
cut
work?
it out. Yeah.
Did you heat it up with a hairdryer?
Yeah, hairdryer.
I thought you were gonna say
Oh,
for a
okay.
second and it burned the blaster and melted.
Well,
I have no
no,
handle.
hairdryer.
It is now an underbarrel blaster.
I don't know that he owns one.
Hey, beard,
Or shampoo.
you gotta blow dry that.
No, I just comb it out.
Put
Yeah.
some Jerry Cool in there.
It's going to. It'll be probably by the next one of the next 3 podcasts. It'll be at the full point.
That would be interesting.
Just like Mephisto.
But yeah,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so
Yes.
we're talking about Reddit
Yes.
real quick. I want to say it's not really a Reddit rant, but I love all of the tagging. I like that it's
Yes, I
visible
do like
now.
tagging in Nerf.
T-tagging.
Meta tags.
Yes, I was getting there. I like the colors. I like the visibility of all of the tagging of everything. I think what's been going on is the mods have been tagging a lot of stuff after people create topics. So if you are going to post on Reddit, please help the mods out and tag your own topic, because they aren't going to do it forever and then just go back to the way it was. Then you're not going to be able to search for anything. The tags, for those of you who don't know and are wondering why now Reddit is suddenly multicolored, is to try and help organize everything. And I'm not a mod, so don't look at me, but I just know this. It's there. After you submit your topic or your link or whatever, there's a little button that says, what does it say?
Flare?
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's not the flare, the little blaster that you have next to your name. It's the flare that actually gives it a little. You can choose a bunch of different things like events or commerce, video,
Cosmetic,
Yeah.
blog, first
There's
party.
a bunch of stuff. So and then they're all already colored. You don't have to worry about any of that. It's just so you can search. And on the side of Reddit, you might have noticed a nice little area where you can click on one and it'll search everything in that subreddit that has that tag attached to it. And it is friggin' super helpful. That way we don't get 5 people asking the same thing, like within a week or two of each other. Like, oh, just search page 2 of the subreddit.
Or posting
Although
the same news
The
because
Nerf
Right.
nuke, the Nerf nuke still comes up once a week.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm just saying.
Has anyone
it'll
tried
help.
this out yet?
Can't stop the Nerf.
It'll help. It helps with like the I did this to my blaster, or this is how you do this, and then people will have the same thread but call it something different, and people don't notice it, and it's just it's so much easier. The only thing I would say is make it more visible with how to use it. Like give us a little how-to guide for those of us that are like, why is this here and how do I make it happen?
Yeah.
You have to hit the flare. Okay, I didn't understand.
Mhm.
That's where it was.
I didn't either. I went and made a post, and then afterwards I looked on my post, and I'm like, oh, I'm the only one without a tag on the page.
Yeah, how do I
Josh
do
is
it?
going to yell at me for this. So I went back in to delete it, and I was like, edit. Maybe it's under edit, and right next to delete, it's like 2 words next
Yeah.
to like flare. I'm like, oh, flare goes next to your name. Maybe it does something in here, and I was right.
Yeah, like I would put something in the FAQs or one of the PSAs. I know there's a PSA up right now at the very top of Reddit that talks about it, but it doesn't actually. I don't think it has instructions. I think there were instructions posted in one of the replies, but
We can have 2 stickies. It's okay.
yeah, multiple stickies is all right.
Yeah.
Or just put more stuff in the FAQs. Like put an FAQ section, and one of them is like, how do I add topics or meta tags or blah blah blah.
But I love that it's becoming a place where like literally I can go like, what wars are popping up in the next month?
Right.
Hit the events button.
Correct.
Oh, HVZ, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
By the way, I just learned today that there's a humans versus zombies subreddit too that looks
Yes.
fairly active.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of cool because I was digging around there too. And obviously, I get to a certain extent you need subreddits, but I do like the idea that everything can be unified under one umbrella.
Mm-hmm.
That way, if people,
Corporation.
yes,
Talking about HVZ.
yes,
I'm doing
100% saturation.
it.
God, Wesker. Yeah, but I think it's really cool. You should check out that subforum as well. It's just spelt out humans vs zombies on Reddit. They post when wars are popping up. There's also videos and stuff there too, so it's really cool. We talk a lot about the Nerf subreddit because Nerf wars are more our specialty than HVZ.
Yep.
That'll change soon, hopefully.
Hopefully.
But I do like being able to click on there and be like, these are all the groups going on there. So
Yeah.
this is also a call to action for everyone listening right now. If you are hosting a Nerf war, I want you to post about it on Reddit. Post a link to a Facebook event so people can see it. They can get the invite. It'll help drive traffic to your games and get more people to go, which will hopefully mean a better time. Hopefully it doesn't lead to a worse time.
And tag it.
And tag it.
Tag it with the event tag.
Front page of the internet.
There we go.
Yes.
Blam. So nice job on that, mods at Reddit. Keep it up.
I know you're the
That's
ones
awesome.
keeping it up, but also people who are making the topics, please
Yeah.
participate in
Please,
that.
please do, because it makes it so much easier for those of us who want to search and look and whatnot.
Mhm. All right. I think that's pretty much it for today. You guys got anything else?
Spay and neuter your blasters. You don't want them.
Alrighty then. I think we're good.
All right, so the usual spiel. Please check out BayAreaNerf.com for the latest news in the Bay Area for Nerf. We have a calendar with events on there. There's a lot of events going on right now, so check it out. Also, you can find us on YouTube at Bay Area Nerf as well. That's where you go to watch the podcast or any videos we upload on the side.
Yeah, you can follow us on Twitter, Google+, find us on Facebook. Yeah, you can email us.
Mhm.
It's all. If you go to BayAreaNerf.com, you can find a link to any of the social media that we are on.
Yes. And if you want to send us free stuff to review, we're always cool with that as well.
Also a thing.
Yes. Other than that, I think that's pretty much it for this week. So from everyone here at Nerfcast, this is Sean.
This is Josh.
And me.
Happy tagging.